So when I think about why international cooperation and solidarity matter to me, I think about what's going on around me and really just take time to reflect on some of the situations that we're currently seeing in Alberta and Canada. For instance, I find in Alberta, education and healthcare are under a lot of strain and stress. So it provides us with an opportunity to not only create new avenues of learning, but also understand how we can learn from other people's approaches and learn from how things have been done in other instances. In situations like these, I also find, for example, for immigrant and newcomer communities, this might mean the time to learn from their lived experiences and making sure that we're affirming their realities.
International cooperation and solidarity matter to me because growing up in a small town, I learned how important it is to lean on one another and what it means to build each other up. Now, having the privilege to work internationally, I see how powerful this idea can be when we apply it to international development. Something I realized during my time in Indonesia is although our contexts are very different, there were a lot of similarities in the challenges we face back home and those abroad. That's why international engagement matters. Sharing knowledge, resources, and experiences isn't charity, it's solidarity. It helps us learn faster, respond better, and build solutions that actually work. International cooperation reminds us that we're not alone and that building a better future starts by learning from one another.
When we talk about affordability, housing, or the cost of living in Canada, we're often told we have to choose how people here or how people abroad. But that's a false choice. It's not either or, it has to be both and. We live in an interconnected world, and what happens elsewhere doesn't stay elsewhere. International cooperation matters most now because global stability directly affects your local well-being. Above all, there's also a moral reason. No one's life is worth more just because of where they were born. Caring about people beyond our borders is about recognizing our shared humanity. And what's interesting is that we don't just have resources to share, we have lessons to learn from other countries as well. And so, in times of crisis, humility matters. If there's one thing I hope people take away from my message today, is that global issues are no longer something that happens somewhere else. They shape our lives here at home. And that's why international development is about solidarity with one another. It is precisely through this sense of shared responsibility that we can move toward a more fair and sustainable future for everyone.
Dans le monde, avec le monde, c'est une façon de choisir ce monde-là. Moi, c'est très important parce que au final, c'est justement c'est un choix qu'on fait, qu'on renouvelle à tous les jours, le choix de la solidarité internationale, parce que c'est une façon de consommer, une façon d'entrer en contact avec les autres, une façon de penser globalement à comment on peut agir localement.
De pouvoir discuter des enjeux, d'échanger, de pouvoir réfléchir ensemble à des solutions, pas uniquement au Québec, mais aussi avec les partenaires à l'étranger. Donc, pour moi, c'est un moyen, en fait, de trouver des solutions ensemble contre des enjeux qui sont globaux. Donc, il y a des enjeux qui ne sont pas nécessairement strictement locaux, mais qui ont des impacts ailleurs dans le monde, donc qui ne connaissent pas vraiment de frontières. On peut penser au changement climatique, on peut penser à la perte de biodiversité aussi. C'est important parce que ça agit comme un contre-pouvoir, en fait, quand on voit que beaucoup de partis politiques se désengagent en ce moment. Les crises humanitaires se multiplient. Je pense que la solidarité internationale, le mouvement de solidarité internationale québécois peut venir soutenir surtout des luttes, par exemple, de droits humains au niveau mondial.
We work international solidarity for human rights, labor rights, and education. And the importance of this work is because we live in a globalized economy where much of the struggles are similar. So the resistance and the fight for a better society also needs to be globalized.
We have partners in Canada like union and grassroots organizations saying that in the other countries of the Americas and the Caribbean. And they fight, for example, for the land rights that is connected with the struggle that we have in Canada with the housing crisis. And also our partners, they fight, for example, for better labor conditions, for occupational health and safety.
Why international cooperation matters for me and my organization. Yes, this work matters for me and my organization because of the support and the work we do in the Global South by providing support to the most vulnerable people, women, young girls and boys, and people in need in those areas. This work matters for me at this moment because of the pressure, lack of support, and also lack of understanding people seems to have at this moment of international work. But we do need this work why now at this moment in the global south, as the world is facing challenges and pressure to cut, and we are seeing more cuts of international work. We are calling again upon government and elected officials to step in and to support the work these big organizations they do, especially international organizations, and especially the work MCIC, Manitoba Council for International Cooperation, they do to support these small organizations like ours and also big and medium organizations. Thank you so much.
Why international development and solidarity matters? It brings people and cultures together. We are dealing with complex issues around the world. We all know climate change and so many things. But we have Sustainable Development Goal SDGs addressing all the issues and how to deal with them and how to solve. So we have to unite together, all the countries, and promote the SDGs so that we can reach a higher development and all those goals by 2030. To empower young people so that they can go to other countries and volunteer, learn skills, and see how in other countries, especially in developing countries, that they are doing that can help them to learn in so many ways, like farming, producing organic food. That's common in other countries, but can you imagine how it is difficult here? They can learn from other countries.
International cooperation matters because global issues shows up in our everyday lives. When we are talking about raising costs, housing, climate change, or displacement, these challenges do not stop at the border. What happens globally affects our local communities here in Canada. And international cooperation matters more than ever because we are living in a connected world, and we can learn from how our communities around the world respond to crises, to support each other, and create a sustainable solution with limited resources. And when we engage internationally, we are not just sharing support, we are building solidarity, learning from each other, and investing in a more fair and sustainable future for everyone.
Canada's international engagement matters because the challenges we face does not stop at our borders. Climate change, conflict, pandemic, and economic instability shapes lives both globally and here at home. Staying engaged internationally allows Canada to respond to these shared challenges alongside global partners. Development isn't just about charity, it's a partnership. When Canada invests in global health, education, climate action, and peace, we're all investing in a more stable, just, and sustainable future at home. In moments of crisis, choosing engagement over isolation reflects on our values and our responsibilities to one another.
International cooperation matters to me because I work with international students and their newcomer families, so I get to see their experiences up close. Many arrive after leaving behind difficulties, carrying hope and uncertainty. Cooperation and solidarity show them that they are not alone. Our international and immigrant students need strong, shared support so they can feel safe, included, and ready to learn. When we work together across boundaries and across communities, we help people to rebuild their lives, and we give children hope that their future can truly be better.